First up at 6 o'clock, days after the WBRZ Investigative Unit exposed money problems at the Bridge Center, a taxpayer-funded mental health facility. Leaders admit they could have kept the board more informed.
Tonight, we are learning just how deep of a hole the facility is in. Chris Nakamoto attended that virtual meeting. He's here with what was discussed.
Sylvia, Michael, layoffs have already happened since the Bridge Center has already lost $5 million. It could lose another $3 million this fiscal year. Tonight, the third party that runs it is blaming the state for not reimbursing them for treating patients on Medicaid.
This was supposed to be the answer to Baton Rouge's mental health crisis, the first ever crisis receiving center called the Bridge Center that would be an alternative to sending mental health patients to overcrowded jails and hospitals. Tonight, the idea that came to fruition is bleeding cash.
The center was established and the program was established with the understanding and with the expectation that a large segment of the population that the center would serve would be covered by Medicaid, and also potentially other third-party payer insurance. And the millage was truly intended to cover the uninsured citizens of East Baton Rouge Parish.
But despite having numerous meetings with the state, leaders at the Bridge Center told their board today the Louisiana Department of Health has not reimbursed the center for patients who have Medicaid. It's estimated at least 70% of the people who have been treated at the Bridge Center have that.
The road to obtaining Medicaid reimbursement for those clients that are eligible for Medicaid has been a rocky road.
The WBRZ Investigative Unit exposed the money woes Friday when we learned at least 15 people were being laid off.
We have a funding source issue.
The director not willing to answer any specific questions Friday.
How many employees are being laid off?
That information I don't have.
You're the director.
That will be we contract with RI International, so that is the RI International question.
RI International is the company that runs the center. Tonight we know the number of layoffs is higher. 21 people are losing their jobs, and the facility is suspending the operation of 16 beds inside. The respite care unit closed, and the detox unit will shut down next week.
When I talked with the secretary yesterday, I tried to tell her, look, this isn't an RI problem. This isn't a Bridge Center problem. This is a state problem. That's my bigger concern always, is that we want these crisis management services to work for the state. If they can't work here in Baton Rouge with $6 million of funding, they can't work anywhere.
This week, board members were sent an explanation of the money troubles RI International was having operating the center. And they were also told not to talk to the media. Those in attendance agree communication from the Bridge Center's leaders has been lacking.
I do think we need to communicate again what's going on with the taxpayers' dollars, what we were counting on, how we expanded the services, et cetera, et cetera. I think that response is too brief and talks only about losses causing a problem.
So far, there has been a lot of finger pointing between the Bridge Center and LDH about why reimbursements aren't being paid. Bridge Center leaders and the Secretary of the Department of Health will meet next week to try to get some clarity. In the meantime, the center's director says the doors remain open and the Bridge Center won't turn patients away despite a smaller staff. They said they would rely on longer-term facilities to help plug their gaps. Sylvia?